Yes.
Sorry, I had to mute for a second there to put my glasses back on. They were fogging up on me. Friggin' 60 degrees.
What are you doing over there?
It's January and it's like 69 degrees. Like, seriously? What is wrong with that crap? God. It's like, just be winter already. And just, can we just have winter, please? Thank you.
Yeah, we're getting ice pellets right now.
Yeah, it's just raining.
We had our 3 days. We had our 3 days of winter 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Now y'all are done, and it's off to the hot weather, right?
Yeah. Went from a low in about 25. Today it was 75.
Yeah, I think we're going to be there next week. Welcome to the South, y'all. Okay, so...
Where everybody has to say y'all.
Yeah, unless it's a group of people, in which case it's all y'all. There's difference.
Right.
It's a cold 70 here, so...
That is cold. Y'all were at 104 a week ago.
Yeah, I know. Well, yesterday, actually.
Oh, you were saying, David? Sorry.
I was saying y'all could be possessive, too, like all y'alls.
All y'alls, yeah. All y'all's meat is mine. Just saying.
Yeah, y'all's possessive as opposed to y'all's plural.
Mm-hmm. So, there's a whole world of y'all and y'all.
My beautiful language.
It is a fun language, yeah. It definitely is. So, we're fixing to move into all y'all's favorite subjects. Let's seek from talking pro stuff into talking mead stuff. So what I'm curious about, and we're gonna let Gary lead off here with what's your favorite style, and let's talk style for a little bit.
Style. Well, my personal taste definitely head towards the sweeter sides. I'd say probably the Melomel is generally my favorites. Strawberry, blueberry, the typical berries usually are my favorites to drink.
My kind of guy. So what all kind of Mels have you made over the years?
Like I said earlier, I did the strawberry vanilla, which is probably one of my favorites. I've also done a blueberry one, a white raspberry. My uncle grows raspberries that just for some reason they're like a yellowish white color.
Oh,
so I ended up using those one year, and it was a raspberry mead, but you couldn't tell it because it wasn't red. So people would drink it thinking it was just a standard mead, but it had it had the raspberry flavoring, and that one caught a lot of people off guard.
That's fun. Yeah, we've had the yellow raspberries where I grew up too, and up in Michigan, and we had a name for them. It wasn't raspberry; it was something else, like yellow blackberry or some such like that. But no, because they don't look like raspberries, and they do have a slightly different flavor too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was probably my favorite one that I brewed.
Have you tried your strawberry with cinnamon yet?
I have not. That's definitely on my list. I've done a sizer with cinnamon, but I haven't done a strawberry with cinnamon yet.
Yeah, people don't think of it, but I did and I didn't think of trying this until I did this. I had a cordial recipe that I unearthed or traded for or something like that, and the cordial recipe was strawberries and cinnamon, and it was really good. I was really impressed. And then I think you could also probably keep the vanilla, so strawberries, vanilla, and cinnamon. And
certainly would work.
Hamish is being a smart ass on the feed. What else is new?
Mickey, you gotta leave that in the background.
Yeah,
That's why we put it in the background.
That's why I like saying something about it, because I know he's over there squirming. I know this is going to come back to haunt me later, So, what have you done? What have you done with methclins, Gary?
Mesclins, pretty right now. It's trying to think. Which one is that again? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Spicy.
Late in the night for me,
Spicy.
so my brain's not fully functioning.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Coffee, Gary. More coffee.
Yeah. I gotta work in the morning, so coffee would be bad for me right now. I've done the only one that I've done so far is the smoky jalapeno one. I haven't really done a lot other than that. I stayed mostly to the melamels, the standard show meads, and some drier stuff like the ginger that I mentioned earlier.
Interesting. Yeah, there's some fun ones out there. I'm a methclin gal. I really like spice meads. And combo sizer methclins too. I'm a big fan of the Christmas meads. I know they're cliche, but I like them. You know.
Mm.
It's only a half a step from a pumpkin spice, and that's a cliche too, and I still like it.
And I still like it. Yep. There's see all the groaning
spice
going
mead.
on.
I refuse to ever make that or drink that.
Oh gosh, we were like for 5 days straight drinking pumpkin juice and stuff like that because my daughter does a Harry Potter marathon every year.
Pumpkin juice.
Yeah, it's a
You just throw it through the juicer.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's a Harry Potter pumpkin juice too, so alcohol.
That was a funny noise.
Yeah, that was one of those really.
I could hear the eye roll from here. That was awesome.
I know, right? He's 8,000 miles away, and we can hear the eye roll.
Yeah, personally, I drink pumpkin spice latte all year round, so you know.
But that actually sounds like a drink.
Yeah, I make my own.
Weird.
And I've put pumpkin juice in it a couple of times.
People drink celery juice. Why is pumpkin juice any different?
Well,
Carrot
it's an ingredient.
Carrot juice, you know, you wouldn't think carrots, you know, but carrot juice is huge, and yet, you know, pumpkin juice is weird. Pumpkins at least got
Try
more water in
parsnip
them.
juice sometimes.
Yeah,
parsnip
yucky.
juice is awesome.
I don't like parsnip juice. Yucky.
It's so sweet.
So you got to remember, we call squash pumpkin here.
I have had parsnip meads.
I have parsnips in the freezer waiting to be turned into mead.
Well, there you go.
I have a lot of things in the. I have an entire 5.1 cubic foot freezer full of things waiting to be turned into meads.
Which I'm sure your better half is going, dude. Could you just make the mead already?
Yeah, he kind of is, and I can't right now because it's buried in empty bottles.
Oh, okay.
My house is backlogged. Everything's backlogged.
My life is backlogged.
There's never enough time in the day.
No, there isn't really enough hours in the day. So, all right. So, what's on your to brew list, Gary?
I think the next one I'm doing is the mango habanero that I spoke about earlier. Mm-hmm. And now that the Galligan root that you spoke of, I think I want to try and investigate into that and get something of that going. I also, a few months back, I did a chocolate mead that everybody was pretty fond of, so I definitely want to branch into that, and I'm trying to think if I can spice it up with something chocolate and something else, or if I'll just go back to the standard one again.
You could try like an Aztec spicy chocolate mead or something.
I could definitely try and do like something spice and chocolate in there. Or I was thinking maybe of throwing in some just regular spice, something vanilla or cinnamon would work. I don't know, I'll have to kind of just peruse around. We have a local spice store a couple towns over from me called the Spice Mill that I'll probably end up just going in there and wandering around till I see something that catches my interest.
It sounds like a perfect way to figure out a melomel.
Oh, yeah.
Or, sorry, a methylene.
I've been meaning to. We've got a Penzi store in town, and I've been meaning to go down there and just kind of take a wander, except for the fact that I'm usually dangerous in places like that. I'm a bit of a spice whore, so, I mean, I have a whole shelf in my pantry that all it is spices, everything from stuff like cinnamon and nutmeg and lemon pepper to stuff nobody's ever heard of. I have all these Middle Eastern spices that I had custom mixed by a friend of mine who's Moroccan, and and I cook with those, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
So you're not allowed to bring your own credit cards into those stores. You have to have adult accompaniment, just like me in a hardware store.
Well, yeah, I'm like that in I'm like that in spice shops, bookstores, wine shops, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the big ones. I can be dangerous. Okay, so let's go round robin then. Hamish, what about you? What's favorite style and what's on the to brew list?
To brew list is rather extensive. As our competition this year, the biggest, or most prestigious trophy is actually going for the best mead. So I'm going to be going all out for that. But right now I have a Perimel on the agenda, along with another light Bochet with chai spice.
Oh, chai spice, nice. That'll be interesting. Bring a bottle of that with you when you come to the Mazer Cup.
I've entered a bottle into the cup.
Yeah, don't tell me
Sweet.
that. I'm going to be judging. I can't know these things.
Okay.
I did not hear that. No, I didn't hear that.
It's,
No.
what I can tell you is it's not labelled like that, so you won't be able to link them together.
He says that. Okay, so next, what's your favorite style? If you had to pick one.
Mine?
Yes. You.
Favorite style at the moment would have to be a traditional or a mouth.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely wanting to show off the honey by itself a lot more than anything else. I've gone through all the other things, and I like a good melomel, but I find that it's not really showing off quite the way I like. I do, of course, like a piment as well, especially a big red one.
Yeah, I've got a big red piment that I made several years ago that turned out really well, and I'm down to like my last 3 bottles, so I better get cracking and make another batch. Well, I've always been a Sizer and Methglin girl, usually both at the same time. That's I think probably my favorite style. Strangely enough, though, most of the meads I make tend to be melomels. So, and often berry melomels, because that's what I can get easily around here. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. I said that already. Around here. But right now I've got a Oscar's Subtle Strawberry that isn't going to be anywhere near up to Pete's standards, so he's not going to get to drink it because it sat too long while I was at my daughter's. But I'm going to rack that, see if it's rescuable, and if so, go ahead and bottle it. And then I have just an Orange Blossom Traditional that is also going, that I got a rack, and I've got a blueberry that I promised somebody that I would make that also needs racking. So next on the list, though, is going to be a strawberry rhubarb bomb made from canned strawberry rhubarb pie filling that I got from an Amish company for my daughter's wedding pies, because they didn't want cake, they wanted pie. And I got enough of that to do, I think, a 1 or possibly a 2-gallon batch. And then I'm going to do what was the next one on the list? Oh, I want to go ahead and try a Bochet. I'm gonna use the slow cooker method, though, because I'm not brave enough to do it on the stove. or even on an outside burner. I don't want to waste it. Oh, and I've got some meadow foam left, so I'm going to do a meadow foam bomb with the last of my meadow foam honey. That'll be a traditional. What about you, AJ? I know your brew list is as long as
Yeah, my official to brew list is something like 3 or 4 pages now, and there's probably more that I haven't added to it because the computer upon which the page is has crapped out on me, so I haven't added to it in a while. But yeah, I've got a lot of things I want to try. Hibiscus is one. I want to do a jasmine tea. I've got a bunch of braggots that I want to do as well. I've also got, I want to try doing a boucher as well, and I've got a couple of different batches of honey that people have given me in return for bottles that I want to do traditional batches with so I can highlight the honey, but haven't gotten around to it. And I've still got the bomb I started in June is still in primary, so hopefully it's not ruined. I'm going to sample some of that next week.